Minasan, ohayo gozaimasu! O genki desu ka? With the emerging globalization era of the 21st century, the need for being a multilingual and multicultural, especially in the younger generation, is becoming a necessity. Learning a foreign language these days is not only to acquire language proficiency, but along with it, one must develop skills needed to survive today's society. In our first topic, you will realize that you are already multicultural and multilingual, which will be your edge in learning a new language. You will also personally engage yourselves on how to monitor your language learning journey by using a portfolio style of self-evaluation and reflection system called J3. Jugyo hajimemasu! Topic 1. Halina! BA NihonGOjin! Our first objective is to rediscover and recognize the ability to learn multiple languages by using my language biography. For our second objective, it is to take pride in one's own native language as well as to take pride in one's rich language background. Our third objective is to be able to say Japan and Japanese language in Japanese. Entry means that this is your entrance to the Japanese language. On the other hand, Halina BA NihonGOjin is an invitation for you in the world of NihonGOjin. In the next session, you will know the meaning of the word NihonGOjin. So watch out for it! Do you know other languages aside from English and Filipino?
You may be hesitant to answer Cebuano, Ilonggo, or Tausug because you may think that these are dialects and not languages. So let's have the difference between language and dialect. Language is basically unintelligible to non-speakers of it, while dialect is a form of a language that is mutually intelligible to speakers of the same or related languages. We have to note that there are around 175 languages and around 300 dialects in the Philippines. So aside from Tagalog, there are the Cebuano, Ilonggo, Igorot, Waray, Tausug, etc. On the other hand, examples of dialects are Tagalog Bulacan, Tagalog Manila, Tagalog Mindoro, or Cebuano Cebu, Cebuano Davao, Cebuano Bohol, etc. This time, you are going to have an activity which is entitled My Language Biography. You have to fill out the left part of it with the languages that you already know. I have here an example. You also have to fill out the part about the language you use, as to when, where, and whom you use the language. You have to check all the boxes that apply. I'll be giving you 5 minutes to do this activity. What are your realizations on this activity? Write it down in your Nihongo notes.
In this class, we are going to learn the Japanese language, which is called... Okay, Nihongo. Say it again. One more time. The term is Nihongo. In which country do you think Nihongo is widely spoken? Okay, very good. It's in Japan. And Japan is called Nihon. Say it again. Nihon. One more time. Okay, very good. Nihon.
Japanese is spoken not only in Japan but also in other countries. There are many learners of Japanese in the world. There are learners of Japanese who are in high school just like you. You can be friends with a lot of Japanese people living in Nihon. Being a Japanese language learner, We can connect and make friends with a lot of people around the world who are also learning Japanese just like us. This is the cover of our entry book. Do you remember the meaning of its title? For this school year, we will be taking introductory lessons on the Japanese language and culture. Topic 1 is entitled Halina, BA NihonGOjin. It means that the first 3 lessons will give us an introduction about Japan and the speakers of the Japanese language. In session 1 today, we'll learn about our own language history and the words Nihon and Nihongo. Then, we learned that Nihongo is not only spoken by the Japanese people in Nihon, but also by the different learners of the Japanese language around the world. In session 2, we will learn how to do a simple self-introduction in Japanese, and we will talk about some portions of the geography of Japan. In session 3, we will learn common daily expressions from morning to night. What are your goals in learning the language? Write it down in your Nihongo notes. For your assignment, you have to have a notebook which is called your My Nihongo Notes. That will be especially for Nihongo class. You should also prepare an old magazine which you will use to make your entry book. You may search for old magazines in your cabinet. We are going to use that in session 5. Let's summarize the lesson of this session. What did you learn today? Which topic or activity were you most interested in? Why? For the meantime, write your answers in your Nihongo notes.
Minasan, that's all for today. Thank you for listening. Arigatou gozaimasu. See you in the next class. Mata ne!